Welcome back, everyone, and welcome to week 8, day 3 of 5 through 1 Boring but Big and Really Sore. This is bench day. My first set is 235 pounds for a set of 5. And then we move on to 270 pounds, which I make 275 because it's much easier to load onto the bar. And then we finish with a 305 for 5. So I'm benching at a commercial gym for this first time. I'm lifting at a commercial gym for the first time. And it was okay. This bench was frustrating because the left side was slanted in a weird way, and it made unracking the bar difficult and cumbersome. And other than that, if the bench was set up straight, it was a nice height and everything. So here's 175 for a set of 15. I did 5 sets of 15 with this, and same as usual, the last couple sets were very difficult. Then I just moved on to a lot of machines. I didn't do what I would normally do. I was taking advantage of the fact that this gym had machines, and most of the gyms that I go to don't. So this was one of the few that I really enjoyed. This is a lat pull down, and I have it maxed out. So if somebody came along stronger than me, it wouldn't be much use for them, but it was a good weight for me. Then I moved on to these dip and curl machines. The dips were fine. They did come up at a weird angle that didn't feel natural. I'd like my elbows to be more stacked, and they were more flared on this. And same with the curls. I couldn't grip it in a way that felt good for my forearms. So I took it as a two-sided thing. One, I don't like machines that don't allow you to adjust for your leverages. But two, I also got work in positions that I wouldn't normally do in a fairly safe environment where I don't have to worry about injuring myself. So I had some weird forearm pains after this, but they quickly went away. I moved on to this tricep push down into this other curl machine. So the tricep push down actually felt really natural. And it was good to work with not a lot of weight, and it was still difficult. Same with the curls. I couldn't get full range of motion on this machine no matter how I set it up. But because the handles rotated, it felt really natural to actually do. It felt like I had a pair of dumbbells because I can maneuver my hands in any way needed. So the short range of motion wasn't great, but at the same time, it did its job. I wouldn't choose this machine over just curling a barbell or dumbbells, but it was interesting to try something else. So I saw the sled. They actually had a nice little conditioning area. They didn't have much there except for some turf, but here's a sled that already had 90 pounds loaded on it. And I had never pushed one this low to the ground before, so I said I would try it. And the original plan was to do like 3 or 4 rounds of this. But man, after I did one, that was it. That was enough. Not only did my legs and glutes burn, but I was completely out of breath. And I'm surprised because I've pushed sleds and pull sleds, and just changing it up just a little bit was enough to make me really tired. So I ended up only doing this for one. I was actually on vacation, so I didn't plan on killing myself with conditioning as I had a lot of walking to do. But as you see as I finish up with this one, I'm actually impressed with how well it works. So yeah, my first time in a commercial gym was okay. Would I recommend it over a different type of gym? Depends. A couple positives. I had a lot of fun. There were a lot of machines that I've never used before. Just in this video, I showed you 5 of the machines that I used, but I actually used a bunch more. There were a ton. So I started with a row machine, and I couldn't really get a natural path on the pull, and I couldn't get really good range of motion because of that, no matter what the weight was. So I just treated it as an overload and went heavy. And then about 4 sets in on that, the seat collapsed and the pin fell out, and I was like, I'm done. I'm done with this machine. Um, a lot of the equipment was very old. Um, this was a 24-hour fitness, and it just happened to be included free with my hotel that I had, and it was right down the block. And I still needed to get my bench day in this week, and the family wasn't awake in the morning, so I went to the gym. I would normally not go to the gym at all on little vacations or trips. I would just enjoy my time. But I said, why not? It was free. It wasn't an inconvenience. And I'm an early riser. So I was up before everyone else. And there's really nothing else for me to do. So I went. The second machine that I tried was an incline press. And that was great. Again, lacked a lot of adjustability. So it was hard to get into. But I just kept it at a lighter weight. And yeah, it worked really well. I had soreness in my upper chest that I don't usually get because I don't usually do any type of incline press because I don't like the setup and I do a lot of other pressing. So it was nice to have a low effort and low fatigue type of press that I could do. I did an ab machine and it worked just like every other ab machine. I really like ab machines because it's easy to overload and progressively overload from week to week because you can keep track of the weight. It's not just doing more crunches or longer planks. I also did a shoulder press machine that was really good. It wasn't super convenient with other people in the gym to set up cameras all the time. So I just set up the cameras where other people weren't really in the shots and I wasn't in anyone's way. But the shoulder machine I would go back to again. My shoulders are still sore. This is almost a week later, and the machine just must hit in a different way that I don't get with regular free weight pressing. So I'm going to keep that in mind, see if I can replicate it with cables. The college gym that I lift at actually does have a shoulder machine, and I just don't use it. So maybe on my second press day or just a day after my presses, I could get some additional volume in on it. But yeah, so for me, I would still choose a powerlifting or strongman gym, specifically because they have the equipment that I need. There was no strongman equipment. There's no yoke. There's no farmer handles. There were no frames, stones, you name it. I probably wouldn't be able to train for a competition very well. But as a person who just has general fitness, yeah, maybe that's the better choice. You have lots of options with your machines. They're kind of foolproof. You can't really mess them up because they're on a fixed path. And you could still get your big compound lifts in and then just kind of have fun with the rest of it. And that was my biggest takeaway. I had fun using the machines. But that being said, I still think it'd be worth even twice as much money per month to go to a gym with nicer equipment. Probably get a nicer community with a locally owned gym. For the most part, in my experience, that's been true. And probably more helpful people all around. And yeah, that's it. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments, and I'll see you next time.